So that's stock voltage right there. We're seeing 13.5 volts with the car just running. When we amplify the booster pump with boost pressure, it's going to jump up to around 18 or 19. So here we go. All right, hit it. And there you go. You see 18.5 volts as we pressurize the system. And then as he takes the pump away, it drops back down to regular voltage. What's up, MOPAR fam? I hope everybody's having a blessed day out there. As you can see, it's a gorgeous day. We got Zorro, the 2014 Dodge Challenger, out here at the shop today, and we are installing a JMS booster pump for Zorro to upgrade the factory fuel pump because we're running out of fuel. I believe this is going to be a great alternative to run the amount of boost that we are going to run on this car, along with a meth injection kit coming in the future as well. So stay tuned. We're going to get this thing installed. I'm going to show you everything you need to do and where to hook up everything to get this done. Pretty simple, only takes a couple hours. So before we get started, make sure you hit that subscribe button, give the video a thumbs up, comment down below what you think of Zorro and the JMS booster pump. So let's get to work. All right, so real quick, we're just kind of gonna go through these instructions. They're pretty straightforward, a little confusing in certain areas, but not all that bad. We went with the simplest setup as possible. But anyways, just kind of gonna run through these real quick, just kind of show you what the instructions look like. And again, this is the universal kit. This is not for a specific car, like a Mustang, Camaro, Challenger, like what we're working on. This is a universal setup. This thing is, this kit's made to be put on any vehicle literally in the world, pretty much. So these instructions are very universal. So let's go out here to the car and show you what we did. So this is under the hood of Zorro. Kind of dirty right now, so don't give us a hard time. Now what we did is we went with the ground enable option, using a Hobbs switch. The switch comes with the kit. So what we did is on the main harness that comes with the kit, you got a white and a black wire. You hook that to your Hobbs switch. Doesn't matter which side it goes to. You just hook that to the switch. Then you're going to tee into a vacuum line, boost line, whatever you got. So as you can see, we teed in to this line that goes to our boost switch. That runs off manifold, vacuum, yada yada yada. So that is how we hooked up our Hobbs switch. Very simple. Run that through the firewall. So we came through the firewall, through the rubber grommet up there under the floor, tucked everything under the floor and the carpet right here, ran it all the way to the back. Same thing. Tucked it behind here, up under the sound deadening carpet, whatever you want to call this stuff, all the way into the trunk. Then you come out to your trunk. You will need to remove all of your lining and the little trunk tire door. All that stuff needs to come out. Now we haven't completely, cleaned all this up yet and mounted everything because I wanted to show you guys what you guys need to do. So on the unit itself, all right, which is right here, this is the JMS FuelMAX. The harness that goes underneath the hood, as you can see, is this part here, and pretty simple. It plugs into the box. All right, very simple, not much to explain there. Now for the power wires coming out of the main unit here, we're going to start with this big black one. That's the ground. On this 2014 Challenger, what we did is we ran it down here next to the battery, you can see there's a factory ground location for the battery ground itself on the body. So we grounded the big black cable to that post. Then coming out of the unit, you got a big red wire and a big white wire. You're going to run those wires over to where your fuel pump assembly is. So you're going to locate your fuel pump assembly. As you can see, we ran these wires just kind of over here for now, underneath the sound deadening, just like the factory wires are ran, and up under the bottom of the seat. So we're going to go into the car. Bear with me. I'll get my fat butt back here. I move the seat up. Now, when you get in the back seat, your fuel pump is underneath your back seat on the driver's side. You got a little door hatch here for this carpet stuff. You can pull it up. Also, you can pull up this little plastic here to locate. You can see the top of the fuel pump connector for the harness is right there. Now, how I verified what wire I need to hook to is with an ohm meter. The big red wire coming out of the booster pump needs to connect to the 12-volt wire for your fuel pump. In this case, on this car, it's this blue, solid blue wire with an orange stripe all the way to the driver's side, right here where my finger is. That is a positive 12-volt signal wire for the fuel pump. So that is the wire we tapped into. As you can see, here's our red wire. And this is on the harness side of the car. You connect the red wire from the booster pump to the blue and orange striped wire on the harness side of the car. The white wire connects to the fuel pump side of the connector to the blue and orange striped wire that we cut. So as you can see, when you locate your 12-volt wire, and again in this case it's the blue with orange stripe, you're going to cut that wire in half. The red wire from the booster pump goes to the harness side of that cut wire, and then the white wire on the booster pump. And I know you guys are asking me, why am I saying white when this is black? Because of where we're mounting the booster pump, I lengthened the wires, and I didn't have any white wire, I had black. So my white wire, from what you're looking at right now, is black right here. But this is the white wire coming from the booster pump, and it goes to the other side of the blue wire we cut, which is the fuel pump side. Okay, so that is how you hook that part of the system up. And then on the unit itself, we set the voltage output range to 100%, and it doesn't matter because we didn't use the voltage enable on this. We went with the ground Hobbs switch enable. So this input trigger voltage, it really doesn't matter where you put it, but we just put it in the middle, but it doesn't matter. And then for the switch panel, you got these little switches in here. We set it up to be just an on-off system with boost. So we set our Hobbs switch to kick in around 3 or 4 pounds of boost. So at 3 or 4 pounds of boost, the booster pump kicks on and supplies 18 volts to the stock fuel pump. And again, you can adjust that. You can either do 18 volts or 22 volts, depending on how you adjust this booster pump. But in our situation, we're using 18 volts max, and you want to switch the number 1 switch to on, the number 2 switch to off, and the number 3 switch to on. The number 4 and 5 switch does not matter, again, because we are using this as an on-off only setup. We're not ramping, We're not delaying. We're just doing this as a simple on off when it sees boost. That's it. It's on and it goes off when the boost goes away. So we set it up stupid simple. The Hobbs switch that they send you is already factory adjusted to 5 pounds roughly is where they're supposed to be set. And on the bottom of it right here, there's a little rubber cap you can pull out. There's an Allen head that you adjust. If you loosen the Allen head, it lowers the boost, and if you tighten the Allen head, it increases the boost. So we backed it out 1 turn and it seems to be kicking on around the 3 to 4 pound range, which is where I wanted it to be. So hopefully that explanation helps you out a good bit trying to install one of these yourself at home. It's just like super simple. Anybody can do this. This was very simple. It was just trying to figure out exactly how we want everything to turn on and off. And again, we went with the simplest method possible, which is just boost activated, on and off. So again, when we see the 3-4 pound of boost, the boosted pump kicks in. We have it set to the 18 volts. So it supplies 18 volts instantly. And when the boost drops below the 3 or 4 pound range, the boosted pump kicks off. And it just runs on the factory voltage, which is around the 14.5 zone. So we're going to show you that the system's working and how to test this before you just go out to the street and hope that it's working. So we got a simple little way that we've kind of rigged up just to make sure the pump is kicking on. It sees the boost and then it kicks off when the boost goes away. So we're going to demonstrate that, how you can test it at home and how we tested it right here. So what I use, I just got a little Milwaukee air pump. We turn it on. I'm gonna set this thing, the lowest it goes is 5 pounds. We got the little blow nozzle here on it installed. You can use shop air, whatever. You just, you're not trying to like blow the fittings off when you do this. You just need something to supply, 5 pounds of boost or whatnot for this to work. What we're gonna do is the car's got to be running for all this to work, and it's going to get loud, so it's going to be hard for you guys to hear me. But what we're going to do, we're going to pull off this vacuum line right here, and we're going to hook our pump right into that. So we're going to have my test guy, when we turn this pump on, he's going to fire the pump. It's going to pressurize the Hobbs switch, and it's going to kick on the boosted pump. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my voltmeter here. I'm going to show you real quick. So again, the white wire coming off of the boosted pump goes to your fuel pump cut wire. The red wire goes to the vehicle harness side of the cut wire that we spliced in for the fuel pump 12 volt signal. So we're testing on the white side because basically this is input. The red is more or less input into the box, and the output, voltage output, if you think of this like a stereo system, the white wire is your amplifier. That's basically what you're doing, is you're amplifying the voltage going to the pump. So I'm gonna test this with my red lead. I'm just gonna gently poke it here, and then I'm gonna ground my black lead to the negative side of the battery. So when we fire the car off, you're gonna see it's gonna read 14 volts, 14.5 volts on regular system voltage. When I tell my buddy up front to activate the air pump to pressurize the Hobbs switch, you're gonna see my voltmeter jump up to 18-19 volts. Basically telling us that the boosted pump is kicking on and it is boosting the fuel pump. So let's get started. Just show that right on the gauge here so we can read it. All right, I'm going to start the vehicle. Stock voltage right there, we're seeing 13.5 volts with the car just running. When we amplify the booster pump with boost pressure, it's going to jump up to around 18 or 19. So here we go. All right, hit it. And there you go. You see 18.5 volts as we pressurize the system. And then as he takes the pump away, it drops back down to regular voltage. So there you go. As you've seen, under regular power and just the vehicle, we're getting around the 13.5 volts to 14 range like you're supposed to. When we pressurize the system, the booster pump kicks in and we're seeing 18.5 volts. So everything's working. And it's doing its job like we were hoping to. So that's pretty much it. That's how you wire it all up, at least on a Challenger around this year. I think they're pretty much all the same. Pretty simple. Like I said, a couple hours in the driveway. You need some wire strippers, some wire crimpers to crimp the butt connectors. And you may need some extra wire if you want to lengthen the wire, just in case you don't have enough wire to where you want to mount the booster pump. We're mounting it all the way over where the battery is. So we did have to lengthen the wires. They were just a little too short to reach. But if you're going to do that, make sure you get the same gauge wire roughly as what the booster pump is. You don't want to put real thin wires on there. It needs to be good quality wire. And probably, I want to say it's around like 12 gauge minimum, somewhere right there. But just, you may run into that. Other than that, pretty simple, straightforward. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Put a comment down there what you think, if you guys have one, or if you're looking into it. Did this help you out? Stay tuned for more content in the future. As you see, it's starting to get nice here in Georgia. Tracks are opening up, and we're gonna hopefully hit the track here soon with Project Zorro. Get some times. Project Storm, we got to hit the track with it, and obviously hit the track with my truck Frostbite, and see if we can get some more personal records. But until next time, you guys stay safe out there. We'll see you guys on the next one.